In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you 6 traps to avoid when launching your first product-based business. And actually, these steps can be applied if you're relaunching or launching, it doesn't matter, but try to avoid these 6 traps. Now, in this video, the setup may look a little bit different, but I actually was not planning on making a video right now. I am going to make it anyway, so I'll be getting ready the same time, and hopefully it all works out because I have somewhere to go. Traps to avoid if you're launching your first product business, and the first one is launching your business with a website provider that you know that you may or may not continue with. I think someone who commented on one of the past videos about when should they up their website, right? So I'm assuming they are just launching their business and now they're thinking to themselves, what should I go with? Should I go with Shopify? Should I go with Wix? Should I go with Big Cartel? Does it matter? My thing is this. If you have a situation where, and this is why I don't like to do these kind of videos because I could never talk and do things at the same time. If you have a situation where you have a circumstance of funds, then obviously the cheaper route will have to work with you because you don't have a choice. But if you can afford to allocate funds to your website, and by funds I mean to the $29 that Shopify is charging, I would say go for Shopify. Wix is another option that you can use, and I know is an option that a lot of you guys use currently that works well as Shopify. To answer that first question and to reiterate this first money trap or just trap in general to avoid is when you're starting out, when you're launching your first business, if you can, go with the hosting provider that you will use to scale your business, right? So just go with Shopify the first time around. I know Big Cartel is a website provider that a lot of new business owners use, and they say to themselves, it's free for a certain moment, and after I get me a couple of sales, then I'll move up to something like Shopify, and then I'll move over to something like Wix. Your website is so important, and the themes that you use on your website and the way you lay out your products is so important that I wouldn't even risk jeopardizing the fact that someone will come onto your website and it'll be hard for them to navigate, or it'll be hard for you to display your products the way that you want to. So just use a website like Shopify, which has themes that are designed to lay out your products in a way that will help you to convince your purchasers or your website viewers to shop with you. And another thing is when you have a platform like Shopify versus something like WordPress, because I've seen the back end of a WordPress, and when it comes to the analytics, yes, they're all there, but Shopify to me, it displays your analytics the best way, right? And you have those analytics right in your dashboard. It's easy for you to read, easy for you to understand, especially when you are a new business owner launching your business for the first time. So if you can, avoid the trap of getting a website where it's a website maybe like on Big Cartel and you say to yourself, I'm going to transfer it later. Just go ahead if you can afford it and get something like Shopify or even Wix. Now, the second trap to avoid when starting your business for the first time is waiting for a very long time to build up your email marketing system. Now, email marketing in general can be a bit complicated, and you may be saying to yourself, oh, starting this will be hard, or I don't know what this is, let me just go ahead and launch. Here's the thing with that. When you do that, you're missing an opportunity to gather one additional format of communicating with your audience. I highly recommend that you set up the simplest version of email marketing in your business as soon as possible. There are many platforms that you can use and add to your business, and when you do things like have a Shopify website, it's easy for you to connect it, right? So all you have to do is get your Shopify website, pick a email marketing provider that probably has a free plan, right? And just have that basic form on your website and just have the chance or the opportunity for somebody to drop their emails in. That'll be the best bet for you. I know this is a dead horse at this point. We talk about it all the time, but so many people still take a very, very long time to add email marketing. The way email marketing is set up now, it's getting easier and easier to add to your business. When you get a platform that's large like MailChimp or Klaviyo or Flowdesk, there is apps inside the Shopify website store that allows you to integrate those two together very seamlessly, which is another reason why I opt for you getting something like Shopify, because it's so easy to set up and so easy to integrate with other parts of your business. The third trap that I want to talk about is when you're starting off following loads and loads and loads of businesses that sell the same thing as you, or following your favorite business or your business that you want to see yourself evolve into. It's fine to have aspirations and to use other businesses as, goals or benchmarks as to what you would want to do, because that's all a part of competitive analysis, especially if you are new and you're trying to launch a product that's similar and you're trying to diversify your product in some way. Competitive analysis is important, but what you don't want to do is follow loads of businesses. What happens really is you spend a lot of time comparing yourself to this business in an unhealthy way. It becomes you saying, oh, this business is doing so well, why can't I get this amount of sales, the same amount of sales, the same amount of engagements? You find yourself on their pages looking at the amount of comments that they get. Please avoid what I'm doing, because I don't know what I'm doing. You begin to doubt yourself and doubt whether or not you should pursue or continue to pursue entrepreneurship. And then it's all because you're following all of these people and you're on Instagram looking at their businesses rather than getting off of Instagram and working on your business. So that's a very slippery slope, and that's a really huge trap that new entrepreneurs do. Following, you begin to waste time and you really hurt yourself, and it's really not helpful. The moment it gets unhealthy, the moment you decide to begin to feel inferior to or less than, that's not helpful anymore, and that's something that you need to avoid, because it could possibly result in you losing your train of thought and becoming dissatisfied in your own progress. I just have to stop this video for a second and say, at this point, I do not know what's happening with my face. Like, I promise you, it does not look as bad as it seems on the camera. It looks really bad. Like, what exactly is going on? But don't worry, it came through. Okay, back to the video. The fourth tip that you want to avoid is not tracking your expenses when you are launching or building your first business. Now, I'm not asking you to be a bookkeeping whiz, but I'm just asking you to write things down. Get you a nice basic Excel sheet and write out your monthly expenses that it takes to run your business. So you would go and you will have a column for the reoccurring monthly expenses. So you have like your Shopify, your Canva, if you have Canva, any subscription that you use, your email marketing subscription, even if you have something for content scheduling and you have to pay for that, write that down, right? Then you also need to be writing down all of the things or the inventory that you buy, all of the packaging. And I know this may seem simple to some business owners, but some don't do it at all, and it's confusing when you don't know what you've spent, and especially when it comes to pricing your products. You need to know how much you spent and how much is required to run your business, so you'd know how to price your products. Now, pricing in and of itself is a big topic, so I'm not going to get into that in too much right now, but even if you're guessing your pricing, you would make a even better guess if you were to know your expenses and what it takes to run your business and what all you spent on the inventory that you have in hand. So that's one of the traps that you want to make sure you avoid. I have to go. All right, let me look at my notes. So the fifth one is focusing so much on the aesthetics of it all. When you're launching a business, I understand that you want things to look good because people are visually driven, and that's a great thing, right? But there comes a time where what you're doing is too much, and it's like, okay, let's use this energy someplace else, right? So I'm talking about over obsessing on your packaging, trying to get really, really expensive packaging. All of those things, to me, I call it procrastination. I do it a lot. What you really should be focusing your energy on is building your social media presence, especially if you don't want to do things like paid ads. So getting yourself out there is going to be key, and really focusing on the quality and uniqueness of your product. So you should probably be focusing on how you can either source or create a product that's going to be unique and market it in a way that is going to be unique. Now, I know I talk a lot about the unique selling proposition of your business, and that's just really what makes your products special in some way in comparison to another product that is similar to yours. And it's completely tied to you knowing your target audience, your ideal customer, and it's really it's your niche, right? But what I've thought about, which is also important and something that I completely made up, so if you hear it somewhere, I don't think you would because I just made it up, is you need to also have a unique marketing proposition. So that's a unique way for you to market and present your products, right? And so when a lot of you guys say, I don't know how to market my product, what I believe you are saying, and after talking to hundreds of you guys in DMs and hundreds of you guys in one-on-one sessions, when you guys say you're struggling with marketing, what you're really thinking, what you're really saying, which I believe is you don't know how to present and showcase and promote your products in a unique way. That is your unique marketing proposition. I just made that up. So you probably won't be able to Google that. So you need to get a unique marketing proposition, and that is where your energy should be in versus saying, I want to have expensive packaging, or I want to have, my Instagram feed completely laid out where all of the tiles look a certain way, and at the end of the day you're selling a basic product and you're pushing it in a basic way. That's energy wasted. So don't fall into that trap. Use that money and effort to take quality photos for your website. Take quality photos for product photos that you can later remove the background for and repurpose, which is what I will talk about in another video. But those are the things that would be more helpful to you and a better use of your time. Speaking of time, almost gotta go. I'm just going to lunch, but I want to go before it starts raining because it's been raining a lot. The sixth trap is selecting a generic target audience and switching out your products whenever somebody asks for a certain product. This is the big one. So a lot of you guys, especially in my one-on-one session, did say, oh, and then some people started telling me I should do this, and a couple of people came to me and was like, girl, you should do this, and then I did that, right? And I'm like, wait, what? But that's not what you sell. That's not even like something you even wanted to do, right? So don't fall into that trap of switching your entire product line or adding a product to your product line that you know that you didn't want to offer in the first place, or you only had one person express interest in it. I know it's so tempting to offer as many things as possible because we do that in the hopes of getting a sale. 2-to-1, the majority of time when that happens, the people don't even buy. They don't even buy. So you come back and you say, yeah, so it's available now, and you don't even get the sale. So that was wasted time and wasted money and wasted effort. So don't do that. Your best bet is to stick to your product suite, have a clear product suite, and stick to your product suite. And if you were to add something to your product suite, make sure it's complementary, and then make sure it's something that will be beneficial or useful to your ideal customer. If you really want to begin to offer something that's different and something that everybody has been asking for, put it on pre-order and say pre-orders available now, and then see what they say, because more than likely they know they don't want it, right? Don't do that, right? Don't fall into that trap of ordering products or sourcing products or creating products that people are asking for. That's not going to work. That's not going to make sense. Maybe it'll work, but I wouldn't suggest it, and I do definitely think that is a trap. Building your first website with the intention to upgrade it to a better one later, trap. Just go with the good one now. Waiting too long to add email marketing, don't do it. Just add the email marketing. Following your business, your favorite business, and then comparing yourself to them, unhealthy. Don't fall into that trap. Not tracking your expenses, don't fall into that trap either. Focusing way too much on your packaging rather than the quality of your products, that's a massive trap. Don't fall into that trap either. And then switching up your product suite whenever somebody asks for a Ooh, that might be too much. Whenever somebody asks for a new product. So I really hope that helped. If you have any questions on anything that I mentioned just now, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. If you haven't as yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and leave me a like if you like the video, but only if you like the video though. And I will see you in the next video. You let me go? No, I don't.